Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. Well, thanks for joining us on this late show, this Talkhammers show. We're going to be reviewing the magnificent performance away at. It's not Genk, it's Gent, as per my earlier thumbnail. So I did make the necessary adjustments. It just goes to show the level of the fucking opposition we're talking about here. We played a load of Indians, Navajo Indians. I didn't realise that. But yeah, just me and Gary tonight. John has sent a little sort of 2-minute review in that we'll play after, just to give his thoughts on things. But yeah, we'll get into the game in a minute. Just very, very quickly, you know, I've had loads of shit on Twitter, you know, over the weekend and today as well. You know, I've had to block loads of people with all the fucking, you know, the sad cult that come out. You know, the ones that manufacture and they Photoshop David Moyes' face next to a trophy that he hasn't even won yet. And yeah, so I'd just like to play a little video for you lot, really.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Yeah, that's for you. Yeah, fucking lunatics. Honestly, the minute he gets a test, and it gets serious in any cup competition, it's going to go to shit. He slips into a defensive fucking coma. We just went away again and played 7 defenders.
Well, it worked Saturday. So now he's got to try it every game. Every game.
He went 3 at the back. He went 3 at the back today.
I know he did, but it's always the same. We said this the other day. It doesn't really matter what formation he plays, right? It's all about strategy, and it's all about defending first and foremost, isn't it? I mean, we had 5 at the back, and Dex spent his whole time defending. So we had 6 at the back. I know. And then Downs cut out a few balls as well, 7 at the back.
Yeah, but right? You got 7 blockers, and you got Lanzini looking like a, you know, just lost in there, you know, or disinterested. Lanzini looked, you know, but fucking 7 defenders and a goalkeeper. John's put it was.
He wasn't the only one that looked disinterested. There were a few of them that looked disinterested. It was a very. I'll tell you what it was. What it looked like to me. It looked like a complacent performance. You know, because we've played this competition so far this season, and we've basically just had to turn up and kind of put a half decent team out, and we've rolled every single team over. We've won 10 out of 10. Right, 10 out of 10. That
no
says
one's challenged us yet.
That says more about the opposition than the quality of West Ham, right? Yeah. And then the first test that we get, we choke. Fuck, we nearly lost it there. We nearly lost it, didn't we?
Oh no, look, we deserved to lose it. They had like 500 shots on goal. Not only about 4 on target, thank fuck, but they were literally peppering our goal. They was playing far better football. We made them look like Real Madrid. It was unbelievable. They were knocking the ball about. It was brilliant. It was dynamic. The goal that they scored. I know we're not going to go through it bit by bit, but the goal that they scored, I haven't seen us score a goal like that in a long time. It was a good team goal. Yeah, well worked. You know, open play. I mean, fucking hell. It's shit. It is. It's pony. And to be quite honest, I'm going to say it again. I do. Of course, I want us to win a cup. Of course, I do. I do want that. But the reason, one of the reasons I'm so desperate to get this guy is because look, he is a loser. He is. I know he came in and he said winning is what I do. No, it fucking ain't. He goes out to set up to not lose. You don't win cups doing that. You can survive in the Premier League and you can fight relegation battles doing that. But you do not win cup competitions by playing not to lose. You've got to go out to try and fucking win. No, and he's not gonna win it. So retaining David Moyes for the rest of the season, in my mind, means that we ain't gonna win fuck all this year.
Well, especially look, we've started coming up against decent teams, and let's be honest. Let's pay some credit to Genk. They are a decent team. Sorry, keep getting their names wrong.
Gent, whatever.
Yeah, but we keep getting their names wrong. But they are a good side, and they play a very similar sort of counter-attacking style to what we do, but they do it a lot better with pace, which is funny enough.
And they can press. They can press as well.
They do press. They do press, and I thought they were worthy of. I thought. Really, the draw was unfair on them in the end because they really dominated that second half, didn't they?
Yeah. No, they did. Well, I thought they dominated the first half, to be quite honest. I mean, apart from like a 5-minute, 10-minute passage of play that came about after we got the goal that got disallowed, you know, when they're fucking flappy hands let the ball go and Areola handballed it into the net. From that point on, they looked a little bit rattled and we was on top. But no, I didn't. I thought that they were the better team throughout the whole game, and they wanted it more. That was the one thing, because look, player for player, we should be able to. I mean, I said, we brought Paqueta on. Paqueta's probably worth more than their entire squad. But we played one of the outstanding stats in that game, Gary, and this is low, all right? We played 4 key passes in that entire game. 2 of them were from Paqueta in the last 16 minutes.
Yeah, 19 shots for them,
Sure.
three for us. Paqueta was the highlight of the day for me when he came on. He was like, Amanda, literally done with this season. Can't wait for it to be over. Yeah, I think Paqueta.
John says they ain't no mugs, Nick. No, they aren't. They aren't mugs, but they aren't they're not as good as what we just saw, John. They're only that good when teams respect them in the way that we did, sit off of them. The players that we've got, if we play our own game, when we go toe to toe with Gent or Genk or whoever the fuck they are, we knock them off the park. If we go toe to toe with them, we didn't even bother. We didn't even try.
Yeah, well, I think we, to be honest, at half time, I was quite happy because I thought, even though they'd had a bunch of corners, loads of corners, and we looked dismal in attack, I thought we were going to, we're 1-0 up at half time. I thought we were going to sneak it. And like you said, when they conceded, well, both of the goals actually, after both of the goals, the disallowed one and the allowed one, they looked visibly rattled at the back, and the commentator said they had a young defence. So going into the second half, I thought, hello, we can do something here. But I don't see us doing it against a decent side. I think we might squeeze past them next week because we've got home advantage. I think going away and playing in a tight little pitch with a very noisy crowd, their first sellout crowd of the season apparently. They all came out, especially to see the West Ham.
It's a massive game. We are definitively the favourites of that competition. Okay, we are for a reason. We've got a star-studded squad. We have. I mean, like John said, John's joked. Paqueta's worth more than their stadium shops and fucking squad and everyone combined. But we are the giants of that group. I know there's a couple of other decent teams. You got Nice and you got Fiorentina who are finding a bit of form in there, but none of them have got a squad like ours.
AZ Alkmaar as well. They're good sides. And no, the thing is, Nick.
But they're going to be like Gent.
Yeah, but we've been playing sides that are a lower status than us, really. I know we've got all the money, we've got all the players, but it's like having a dysfunctional team. It's like Chelsea are less than the sum of their parts.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, so are we.
Probably more than the sum of their parts, right?
So, we are way less than the sum of our parts.
Yeah. So I think it's you've got to evaluate it on that and say they had home advantage. They had a very raucous crowd behind them. 20,000 in a small space sounds like a big crowd, right? It does. And so tight. It was
a nice, intimate little stadium, I thought.
Yeah, tight little pitch. I didn't understand why the fans were elevated though. That front row. Why were they 10 foot in the air?
I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
Anyway,
I ain't got a clue.
But home advantage next week. I mean, that is. Oh, please don't try and fucking go for a draw and nick one on the break later on in the game, Dave. You know he will. You know he will.
Well, look. As you said, we should get past. We should get past them at home. We should do. Of course we should. But then again, I thought we should have had a decent cushion going away. David Moyes, this was not his plan. Even though he's set up with 7 defenders, I don't think David Moyes sees that. I don't think he does. I don't think he sees 7 defenders. I think he just thinks that goals should just come, providing you're stable at the back. I just don't. I don't see it. I think we'll get past them, possibly. But then again, they ain't scared of us. They're not at all. And I think if they come out the blocks the way that they did there, I do think. Listen, we're better player for player, okay? But they are a better team than us. They showed that on the night. They're a better team. They play better football. They play better football than us. So individually, and that's what I mean. They needed 86 chances to score a goal. But ultimately, they knocked the ball about a lot better. They had a better understanding. We're just like a fucking group of strangers. Half of them look like they can't be bothered. And I don't blame them. I mean, Lanzini just looked completely and utterly. A lot of people saying he's finished. He ain't finished. He just looks fucked off. He looked like he didn't want to be there.
I don't blame him either because, week in, week out, he can't get into the team behind Thomas Souček because Thomas Souček is our new number 10 in the Premier League. So him and Fornals are sitting on the bench watching every week. It must be heartbreaking, really. having said that, it is a quarterfinal of in Europe. I don't expect players to sulk when it comes to this. I don't know whether he was sulking or not, but it seemed that he just wasn't interested in it. What I want to see is what Paqueta did when he came onto the pitch. I mean, he really lit it up for a brief period of time he was on. He really lit that game up for us, and that was the best attacking spell we had. What was it? Last 10 minutes or something, wasn't it? 15 minutes?
About that. It was about 10 minutes, I think. Yeah, that was all it was. But no, it was poor. It was abject. I mean, they were on top of us with every single stat. 100 more passes than us, more possession, loads more attacks. You couldn't find a stat where they had more corners, they had more everything, really. The only thing we had more of was fouls.
This is killing me as well, this thing about we're favourites to win this cup. The commentators, the bookies, they all make us favourites to win the cup. I mean, based on what?
Because we've got David Moyes. We've got David Moyes, Super David Moyes, and he knows exactly what we need.
He's literally never won anything, has he? Well, he won a Charity Shield once.
Yeah. I know. But apparently AZ are losing 2-0, Gary. So that's knocked that one out. But no, look, I think I'll eat my fucking hat, and I'll be very happy to do it if David Moyes proves me wrong and wins us wins a trophy. I will. I just don't see any way. No, you saw it today. The minute it starts getting serious, in the earlier rounds where David Moyes, we're playing against shit. We see it in the Premier League when we play crap teams in the Premier League.
Yeah,
we tend to get past them. But we was playing some good football. I mean, where was Fornells? Where was Fornells tonight? And players like that. He crammed so many defenders onto the fucking pitch. There was no room for Cornet, who needs minutes. There was no room, and we needed pace. There was no room for Fornells. Where are these players?
I don't know. I mean, but we've got somebody with a comedy name, Arthur Biggin.
No, that's Scotch Egg, who likes to change his name. He was Bend Over and some other ones. He's basically he's the channel cock that likes to come in and try and mock us. So
right, okay.
just ignore him. That's his new alias. Yeah, I bet you ain't got a big un. Fucking needle dick. That's what you should change your name to. But anyway,
right. Yeah.
Okay. So
look, I can't. East side. As much as I hate Moyes, you can't blame him for misplaced passes. That's like saying you can't blame him for any of the individual mistakes in Newcastle and everything else. Yeah, there is that. But it is partly to do with the way we set up East side, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I know. It is a little bit like that, but. I don't know. That is something that I do disagree with, like you just said, and a lot of people say that. They say you can't blame Moyes for strikers not hitting the target. You can't blame Moyes for players not putting the fucking ball into the box in the right areas. Yeah. You can't blame us for not being. This is all to do with coaching. It is all to do with coaching. At the top level, it's fine margins. So if you've got two teams of identical level professionals, but one of them are coached very well and one of them are not, one group are not, then the team that are coached very well are going to come out on top, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're going to pass the ball. They're going to pass the ball better.
Yeah, I just feel fucking numb after watching that, because this is we want something good to come out of this dog's dinner of a season, right? And winning a European trophy. How often have we been in the quarterfinal of a European trophy against, in the scheme of things, a relatively average team? This is a great chance, our greatest chance probably ever to win a European trophy, because it was harder than this when we won it in 65 and nearly won it in 76. It was much harder competition, the Cup Winners' Cup. So this has got to be the best chance. It's queued up, right? It's queued up. There are no big sides left in it, right? All he needs to do is pick the right players, play an attacking formation and actually go for it, right? But he's stuck in this rut and now it's spreading. So rather than it just being the Premier League, it's now spreading. Whenever he feels a sense of danger, like a team might hurt him, he goes into his shell. He goes into his defensive shell. And that's what he's done. In the Premier League, he believes every team can hurt him. That's where he is at the moment.
He's a scared manager.
He's a coward, yeah. He manages like a coward, yeah. I mean, all the credit he got at the weekend from Match of the Day going, all three of them, Match of the Day going, it was never in doubt. And Lineker saying, look what happens when you're loyal to your manager. What
is never in doubt? If we lose to Arsenal, don't get a result at Bournemouth and then lose to Liverpool, we're back in the shit again.
Well, not only that, I mean, that was fine margins at the weekend, the Fulham game. Fabianski don't push that ball against the guy's foot. He just rounds the keeper and puts it away. It's 1-1, right? It's it wasn't a convincing win. Anyone that saw that game could see it wasn't a convincing win.
Southampton wasn't a convincing win.
No, it wasn't, and nor was none of the games against those sides, against Everton, against Forest, against all the shit sides. We have beaten all the shit sides, but none of them have been convincing.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I'll tell you what we do. Should we go straight into the player ratings, because we don't need to really reflect on the game too much? Do you want to touch on any? What about the Danny Ings goal? What do you want to talk about?
The Danny
that
Ings goal, I thought that was quality. That was a sign of a young defence, right? They were naive. Yeah. They were naive. They switched off. It was to be fair, we took full advantage of it. You know, Soufal took a quick throw. Bowen realised the defence had switched off. Got that ball across the Danny Ings, double quick, and it was a good finish. So I thought it was a decent little goal. Yeah. It was straight off. It was like an English goal, right? You wouldn't, the Belgians have never seen a goal like that before.
I think the ball boy did us a favour. He got the ball out to us really, really quickly. I thought that was handy.
Yeah, and I mean, but I felt a bit. I mean, I had a good day out of Fulham on Saturday, but I must admit afterwards I felt a little bit robbed having to travel across to watch that shit. That was only across London to Fulham, so going out to Gent, I mean, it's that times 10, isn't it? I mean, having said that, they're going to have a party out there, and they're going to have a good time out there.
The majority of people have gone out there. Yes, they're West Ham fans, of course they are, but they've gone out there on the. They've gone out there for the day, for the experience and everything else. Yeah. And I don't think we didn't lose. So I don't think those people are going to feel that robbed. I think they'll be okay. They've had. I'm sure they've had a good time.
Oh, I'm sure they've had a brilliant time.
I'm sure they've had a good time. So
saw some videos of it earlier out in the square. It looked really good actually. It looked brilliant.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to do it. I'd love to. I mean, if I say that, you got no chance of getting into the final. What's the capacity in that
20,000? There's a 20,000 capacity. In Prague in the final, so we'll have about 5,000 tickets.
Oh God! Right.
Did you see the Moyes out banner again? Was it out there? Was it out?
Yeah, it was there. It was there.
Oh,
I saw
brilliant.
it.
Excellent.
Yeah. No, I know. It's that's the reason why. That's it's probably that guy there. It's his fault. It's all the negativity on channels like It's we're the reason that we're losing, because we're not backing the boys, and that's what it is. Right now, on the graphic, you will see that Skamaka has been brought in off the. From the treatment room to fill in for Emerson, because I don't have an Emerson. I can't find the Emerson checker. And Vlasic makes another appearance up front, pretending to be Danny Ings. But apart from that, that's right. I think, is that the right formation? It was that. To be honest, it was.
I think it was pretty much that. Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, let's get through these. So what we'll do is we'll take a few calls, because I know there's a few people that do want to call in as well. Areola, Gary.
Areola, I thought he had a relatively solid game. I don't remember him making mistakes. His handling was good. His distribution was actually pretty good in the first half as well. He was getting that ball out quickly. He missed a couple of times. But decent game. I'll give him a 6.
Give him a 6.
Yeah,
he didn't have much to do, did he?
Yeah, no.
I mean, like I say, the majority of their efforts were off target.
Yeah, I couldn't say he had a difficult save to make.
Naif Agüe, it's going to start to sound like I've got a bit of an agenda against him. I haven't. But one of the things, do you want to put the comments up, Gary?
Yeah. Let me get down to the bottom. Sorry, I'm rubbish at comments, right?
Oh no, so am I. Come back, John. I thought that he was a bit of a cultured defender. He is a good passer. He does carry the ball. Do you know what? He doesn't look good in possession. He doesn't look good when he's under pressure and he's got the ball at his feet. He doesn't. And I do think he likes to play. He likes to be a ball playing defender. I think he's going to get caught out a lot when he gets pressed. I thought he looked really, really uncomfortable today. He weren't the worst of the back line, but he weren't the best. I'm going to give him a 5. I think he was poor, really, but I'm not going to give him a donkey on this occasion. I'll spare him a donkey, not 65.
I think there was one time he got caught. I think he escapes a donkey for that last ditch defending where he chased the ball back. He showed his pace. Do you remember where they broke through? It was 2-on-2, wasn't it? And they somehow got away with it. But it was really a bad finish by the striker. But I thought him and the other defender, whoever that was, did a really good job in chasing that down, hunting that down.
Yes, yeah, no, I know. Right, Gary Ogbonna.
Ogbonna, Yeah, he was the pick of the defenders as usual. I thought he was really trying to rough up the what's the name of that player with a pineapple on his head? Was it?
Oh, I can't remember now. You know, I'm fucking good though. I'd like him.
He's a good player, isn't he? Good player. Yeah. But definitely the pick of the defenders. He looked in
Oban or something,
charge.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's it. Orban.
Orban. Yeah, very good player. Very good player.
Yeah. So I'll give Oggy a 7. I think he was good.
Okay. Johnson, pass me the fucking donkey. He was shit. I like Johnson. He was awful in this. He was terrible, especially when you consider the opposition that we was playing against as well. He was the worst by far at the back. I think, like you said, a couple of times it looked like he got us out of trouble a little bit with his pace in the first half. But he's positional play and he's just everything about him today was rubbish. He was shit. I'm going to give him a 2. He's getting a 2. He's getting a 2. That's possibly he's had some bad ones. He's had some good performances as well, but he's had some bad performances.
I don't know what's gone wrong with him.
Probably his worst performance.
He's gone to pot lately. I mean, literally, he continued his bad form from before he got dropped.
Yeah.
You know, what's wrong with him? What's happening? Is he completely lost his confidence now, or what?
I don't know. Right, Skamaka, a.k.a. Emerson. Gary?
Well, I mean, from the so-called wing-backs that we were playing, Soufal was really the one that got forward and did all the damage, as much, if you can call it damage, but he was the one that showed willingness to get forward and really cause problems. I didn't see that from Emerson at all, right? And I also saw, you know, Emerson being run ragged a few times as well. Caught out of position. Not a good game from him. I'm tempted to give him a donkey.
Are you really?
Yeah, I might now give him a 5. I'll give him a 5.
Okay, that's fine. You sure you don't want to give him a donkey? I don't think he had. It wasn't a donkey worthy performance.
No, that's the thing. It was on the borderline. It was on the borderline.
Yeah. I think Soufal was getting forward okay. I think he was getting forward okay, but I don't think he was getting back very well at all. And he was leaving Johnson exposed quite a lot. I think a lot of our attacks, even though all of our attacks were shit, were coming through Soufal. I'm going to give him a 5 as well. I'm not going to give him a donkey. I'm definitely not going to give him a 6 or a 7 because I don't think anyone. I think he was an attacking player today, and I don't think the attacking players.
Yeah,
he did very much.
He was, and I think he was the pick of the 2.
Yeah. So that's. I'll give him a. Do you know what? I'll buckle. I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, he also had a pre-assist, right? It was his quick throw, quick thinking.
Yeah. Right, Gary Flynn Downs.
Flynn Downs, I thought he always has a solid game, and I thought he had a very solid game today. In the first half, he was actually, playing in advance of Declan Rice, which I thought was unusual. I thought he'd be the one to sit. Looking at the game, I did pay quite close attention to him, and I think he made one misplaced pass where he nearly played them in, right?
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think he put a foot wrong. That was never a booking either.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Just like that fucking red card that was given was never a red card right at the end. I'm glad that I'm almost glad for them that got turned over. That was a good tackle, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Perfectly timed, wasn't it? Perfectly timed. But again, it was just another example of how much damage Paqueta did when he came on.
Yeah, he's different gravy.
Well, when he's on the ball, when he's in the mood, he really is.
He is.
Downs, I'll probably give Downs a. Give him a 6.
Give him a 6. That's fine. Right, Declan Rice. I'm not going to talk too much about Dec today. I think he did all right, but I don't think he did.
He was a defender today, wasn't he?
He was a defender. Do you know what? I say he did all right. I didn't really notice him that much today, and this is against opposition like this. I'd be expecting him to really, really shine and take the game by the scruff of the neck and drive the team on. I think he was. Because he's a captain, I'm going to give him a 5. I think it was I think the performance itself was probably worthy of a 6, an average performance, but because he's a captain and we needed him to inspire an uninspired team, I'm going to give him a 5. So that's my rationale behind it.
Did it get nutmegged for the goal as well?
Was it him? I think it might have been, yeah.
I think it was.
Lanzini, Gary, he was shit today, wasn't he?
Oh, he just didn't turn up. He wasn't there.
No.
He did nothing. He barely touched the ball in the first half, and when he did, he didn't do anything with it. He was so uninspiring.
Yeah.
I think he deserves a 4. Got to say it.
Before. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, I love Lanzini. Everyone, he's probably still my favourite player. I know he's not the best player,
But there's just not much.
He's always been one of my. I've got that in common with Happy Hammerette. I don't fancy him, but he's always been my favourite player.
There's just not much you can say about his performance today because he didn't do much.
No, I know. Well, I just think he looked disinterested, like so many of the players are now. Right, Vlasic, aka Danny Ings, he did nothing apart from score. I'm going to give him a 6. If he hadn't have scored, I'd have probably given him a 4. So I'll give him a 2 jump for.
That's what he's there for, right?
He scored a goal.
Yeah,
you know, poacher's goal. That's fine. He was where he needed to be. Knocked it in. Held his line. You know, he could have easily. You know, Antonio probably would have been offside for that or something like that. And somehow managed to miss. I love Mickey, by the way, but we know what happens there. Gary Bowen.
Bowen, I thought was the pick of the players. Right,
you can see I'm desperate to get to Moyes here, can't you?
Yeah, but I thought Bowen was the pick of the players. He looked busy all game. I was a bit gutted when he missed that chance that ball that Paqueta put through to him because I thought he did. You know, he had a good game. I'd give him. What are people saying?
6s and 7s.
6s and 7s.
Yeah.
Tempted.
5.
Give him a 6.
Was it? Mr. May says Ings has got a barnet like Friar Tuck, and it's unacceptable.
Has he? I never noticed.
So, what did you give him? A 7 or 6?
I said 6, but there's a lot of 7s coming through though.
Nah, it's fine. I think that's right. I wouldn't say he had an above average game. Would you? I wouldn't say he had an above average game. I would say he had an average game.
For him, For him, it was an average game. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he got an assist as well. Bump him up to 7.
Let's get the most
7 for the assist.
Let's get the most bizarre fucking substitution of the night out of the way. You had Johnson capitulating all night long. He decided to take off Emerson for Cresswell with not very long to go. So I really didn't fucking get that.
Yeah, what was that about?
I don't know. I think it was just after Soufal got booked and things looked like they was heating over. So maybe he was just sent on to calm things down. I don't know. He might have just sent on to do that. I don't know. I don't know what else he could do, but it's probably not really score worthy, is it? So I'll leave him with a 6. There ain't really much else you can do with him, is there?
Yeah, he wasn't on very long, was he?
Go on, take Benny then.
He did nothing. He did absolutely fuck all. Right, 2.
So he was.
You know what he does? When he's not in the mood, you can tell because he gets a few defenders in front of him, right? He's got the ball at his feet. He does a little jig from side to side and then loses it.
Yeah, I have to adjust this so that the donkeys can be displayed properly. There you go.
Benny was absolute. Benny's got to buck his ideas up, because he's really, really out of form at the moment. He's playing badly every single game. I can't remember the last time we scored him well. And, we had really turned the corner with Benny, hadn't we?
Yeah. No, we had. Right, Antonio. Go on, Gary. Take Antonio as well.
Hold on a minute. Low scores, is that a lack of respect for Gent? No, we've already said Gent were very good. Keep up.
That's not. We were shit.
Yeah. We were. So sorry, who am I marking? Antonio. Antonio, I thought he put himself about when he came on, tried hard. Give him a 6.
Give him a 6.
Typical Antonio performance.
Right. That's fine. Right, I'm gonna clone Lanzini and turn him into Paqueta. So we can give Lanzini a decent score elsewhere on the screen. I thought Paqueta was quite possibly the only shining light when he came on, to be quite honest. I think he was. I wouldn't say he was brilliant. He weren't like at his best or anything like that. But he was hungry. He wanted to be on the ball, and a couple of great passes through the lines as well.
Well, that pass
Fucking
as soon as he came on the pitch, right? As soon as he got onto the pitch, that pass he played through to Bowen was sublime. You still there?
Sorry. Yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah.
the pass he played through, the minute he got onto the pitch, he played that ball through to Bowen, which was absolutely sublime, right? The way he played that, the technique, the guy's got such awareness. And he tried to play one through for Antonio as well. He was really trying to make things happen. And then he was
Yeah.
almost clean through at the end. I mean, he was a right fucking troublemaker today. And he even managed to get a couple of dirty fouls in there as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he was brilliant. I'm going to give him a 7. I think a 7's fair for fair for him. Like I say, he's capable of far more than that. But he was one of the better players. Right, let's get onto Donkey Man Moyes. Go on, tell me your thoughts on him.
Well,
Today.
I think we can both mark him. To be honest, I think he was he done what I feared he would do. He went away there to try and nick a draw, and maybe nick a win with a goal on the break. But to do that, you've got to have something about you and some creativity up front. And this is what I'm lacking about West Ham at the moment. There is when we get up to the attacking third of the pitch, it's like we're making it up as we go along. Right?
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any plan. It's just bump the ball into the box, even when you've got, two really small players in Bowen and Ings. I'll floating across so they can try and get their head on it. Well, it just ain't going to happen, is it? So it's just like he's a one-trick pony. It was rubbish today, and he's got to take responsibility for that. So 2.
So yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to bother talking about him. I'll just like his little groupies. I'll just.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Yeah. So yeah, I think 2 fits in very well. So fuck off, Dave. Can't happen soon enough. Man in the match. I won't ask chat. I think that's got to be Paqueta when he came on.
Yeah, I mean that's the shortest ever
Paqueta.
man in a match because he probably only had 10 minutes, but he was probably
16 minutes. 16 minutes. I think he affected the game more than anyone else on that one. I think that would be quite unanimous anyway. He was definitely the best player. One trick donkey. Yeah, he is. But yeah, so that was that quickest player ratings ever. It was. Well, it's bad, isn't it? And I know people might look at that and they might go, "Oh yeah, that probably is." Because you're disrespecting Genk or Gent, whoever it is. Well, I mean that is because I can't get their fucking name right. But this is based on a performance. Johnson, if he plays like that against anyone, I mean, can you imagine Johnson playing like that against Arsenal?
No. I mean, I really fear for us on Sunday if we're gonna, attempt to play the same as we did against Fulham, sit back and give them the ball, we're gonna get battered. We're gonna get absolutely battered. And did you see Man City against Bayern Munich the other day? Did you see Man City against Bayern Munich the other day? I mean, the thought of us playing against them.
Yeah, no, it's harrowing to be quite honest. Because, well, like we said the other day, I think we've seen 2 flavours of a David Moyes setup now. We've seen, his back's to the wall more so than ever. So whether you're playing Southampton, Fulham, whoever it is, his favoured thing to do is going to be to sit back. I think what he tried to do, because he knew that going up against a good team like Newcastle, you can't do that. So he tried to play it a little bit differently, and he tried to sort of play like a half press. We was getting further up the pitch. We just got pulled to pieces. So I don't know how we keep I don't even know how we keep the score down playing these teams under David Moyes. I don't. It's a fucking insult, Gary, because we've got a good group of players, but they are unmotivated. They are not together. We're fucked. We are. I'm not saying that we're going to get relegated because I think it'd be quite hard for us to get relegated now. We must be able to get at least 2 wins in this next run of games.
The trouble is, I don't know if you've noticed, but recently in the last 3 games, we've played 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, 3-5-2, or 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it. Right? That's 3 different formations,
and it always.
And yet the team has looked the fucking same.
Yeah, because it's instructions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the shape is. If every player on the pitch is just told to sit back deep, it's not. It doesn't make any difference.
Will we see Skamaka again? Doubt it. I think he's gone for good.
I think he's gone. Yeah. I think those rumors
Apparently
are
Napoli
true.
want him.
I think that's why he was so happy when he was videoed on Sky Sports. When he left, he didn't watch that game, and he was sort of shaking everyone's hand. It did look like a fucking goodbye, to be honest.
Yeah.
I reckon his granddad's gone in there and had a word with Moyes.
Yeah, I don't know about won't win another game, Mace. I reckon. I reckon we will get something. You know, the way we're playing, it is.
The
It's
thing is, we
difficult
know
for
we know he will. He will grind out when you play like that. He
Yeah.
will get the odd result. He's going to because we're so difficult. When you camp, fucking like we did against Fulham. Fulham wouldn't have scored against us in 2 weeks. You
No,
know,
it's difficult for shit teams to break down, but it's not difficult
yeah.
for good teams to break down. You know. So
I don't think we can play like that against Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will
you know,
unpick us.
I think what John says here about, Nick, don't you believe it was still in the relegation mix? Yeah, of course we are.
Oh
Of course
no,
we're in the
I believe we're in a
mix.
relegation mix.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I just think that based on what David Moyes has proved this season so far, and that is whenever there is a must-win fucking game, he wins it.
Yeah.
So
Moyes does not
and
understand contemporary tactics. Well, yeah, I mean, that is kind of stating the obvious in a way, but yeah, he's stuck in.
It's true.
When was it, Evan? He's stuck in tactics of 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Right, if anybody does want to call in, we'll take a few calls now. If anyone wants to give us their thoughts on the game.
I don't know about you, but I just found tonight so fucking miserable. I mean, usually I'm a bit more upbeat because I've been to the game and I've had a good time and stuff like that. Whether the game's shit or not, I've usually had a good time. But sitting at home and watching that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying to you. It's different when you go to the game and you have a good day out. It's a very different experience. But this is what the majority of people have been having to endure. And there is no entertainment there whatsoever. There's none. It's soul destroying. More so, it isn't just the style of football is worse because of the group of players that we've got. We know that we could be doing so much more and we should be doing so much more. That is why it's fucking unbearable. That's why it's unbearable at the minute. But yeah, so it's I don't know. I don't really know what to even think. I mean, earlier on, my feelings when I was watching the game, I told you earlier, this is how bad it is. Do you know, I almost felt a little bit like a neutral watching that game. For the first time, I was actually enjoying passages of play from Gent and stuff like that. I was struggling to give a fuck. It's one of the first times I felt like that, but I weren't absolutely fuming. I got more angry once the game had finished and once I processed it. But watching the game, because I had no expectations of it, I've got no expectations that we're going to win this competition. I know this guy. We know what this guy does. He's a one-trick pony. He does not change, and he's going into that fucking negative spiral again that he always goes into, and he's going to get locked in that again. He's going to get locked into that again.
Every manager goes into it. Every manager that ends up getting fired goes into the death spiral where they just try the same shit with the same players over and over again, whether it works or not. It's annoying because you'd think they'd be interested in saving their own skin, and I mean, he could have saved his own skin if he wasn't so bloody, set in his ways.
I know.
Even you would have backed him if he'd have tried something different, right? But he never did.
100%. Listen, 100%. The reason that I'm so dead against David Moyes is because he represents everything that I detest about modern football, and I think that he's a product of the Premier League. It's all about the result, just the result. That's all that matters. Staying in that in the money league. Fuck the entertainment. He's the ugly product of the Premier League. I know you've got the likes of Man City and teams like that, but. Yeah, he's a fucking dinosaur. I can't stand him.
Fucking hate that orange kit as well. Do you like that orange kit?
No, hate it. Right, let's play John's little video anyway. These were John's thoughts from Salou in Spain.
Good evening, claret and boozers. It's Virgil on holiday in Salou. Well, I just took 2 hours out of my life and my holiday here to watch that game. We were poor, weren't we? I think it answered a lot of questions, really. I think that it showed that Johnson, unfortunately for me, he'll never... It pains me to say it because I want Johnson to do well, but Johnson, he needs to put his finger out, otherwise he's going to disappear into the squad and never make it in the first team regular, in my opinion. I thought he was terrible tonight. He's got a bit of pace, obviously gets him out of trouble, but he shouldn't be getting himself into trouble in the first place. Then Lanzini. I mean, how disappointing was Lanzini? I mean, people will argue that, he doesn't play enough, he's not fit, he's not match fit, whatever, but I thought he was terrible tonight. I really did. And I just think You know, as we know, he's got 1 foot out the door probably. Who else? Downs did all right. Got a silly yellow card though. Well, I don't think it was a yellow if I'm honest, but Downs did all right to be fair. Looked like, you know, he was joining forward with the attacks and that. I mean, Ings, again, scored a goal, Ings, but how many touches did he have of the ball apart from that? You know, and they played well, Gent. You know, you could say that we played into their hands, but they made that an exciting game. And, yeah, the Nigerian kid that got up front called Gift Orban, I've spoken about him before. He's got a lot of confidence, that kid. He'll take a shot from anywhere. He don't seem to give a monkeys, does he? I mean, some of the stuff he was trying, you know, a lot of it weren't coming off, but he was trying stuff, audacious overhead kicks, little flicks and tricks. He was a big part of the goal, their equaliser. But look, we were poor. I think we've got away with it a little bit there, 1-1. But you know, we should turn them over in the second leg at the NFL stadium, shouldn't we? But yeah, disappointing with the performance, if I'm honest. But I suppose 1-1, first leg away from home. We know what we've got to do in the second leg. Here's hoping. Yeah, good game. But they made it a good game, not us. Anyway, happy holidays from Salou. Cheers.
And I suppose, Nick, if you look at it like that, what John just said, Fulham on Saturday was all about a result. You could say tonight was all about a result as well. We got 1-1. That's a good result away from home in Europe, really.
Yeah. No, well, yeah. On paper, it is. Yeah. I don't think that David Moyes is happy with that. I mean, he panicked when they got that goal back. He made immediate changes. He made immediate changes. I think he did want that buffer. I think one thing that I will say about him, I don't think he knows how to do it, but I do think he wants. I think he knows he needs this European competition. Amanda referenced it earlier on in the chat. She said she thinks that David Sullivan, one of the reasons that he's retained David Moyes is because of the European
I agree.
success, if you want to call it so far. And if we were to bail out next week, would that be the end of it?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, Amanda. Will he get sacked if
cheers,
we?
Lucas.
Oh, cheers, Lucas. Will he get sacked if we get smashed by Arsenal? No, of course not. That's expected.
No. Right, Lucas says, which games do you see us picking up points in next in the Premier League? Should we, as we've got no callers, what I'll do is I'll take that off. Should we actually do a Premier League predictor just quickly, just whiz through?
Yeah, let's do it. That'd be fun.
Let's knock that off a minute. Right, 1 minute. Keep them going through the chat, and I'll I'll get this ready. Right, so Jonathan's going to call in 10 minutes. So I'll take that off for now. Let's start running through this. 1 minute. I'll take that off for now. So
it's just quite insulting that we have to watch this shit. It really is.
It is, and it does make you sound. It does make it look. It does make us sound entitled to a degree. But you know something? What does make it worse is the fact that we have got that group of players, that squad. It's a waste. It's an absolute waste.
I'll tell you what, though, I do empathise with you now. I was telling you to shut up the other day. It ain't that bad and all that, because I'd been to the game and had a good time. I've just sat at home. I've just sat at home watching it on telly, and that was
soul
fucking
destroyed.
Grim. It's much worse watching it on telly than it is going to the game. Much worse.
Right, hang on. Let's share this quickly. We'll involve the chat as well. So what we'll do, we'll whiz through the games that don't really matter to us. I don't think Aston Villa, we won't ponder on that too much. I'll just call that 1-1, whatever. 1-1. Chelsea, 1-1. Fuck off. Everton. Right, Everton versus Fulham, Gary.
1-0 to Everton.
I think so as well. Southampton versus Palace. I fancy Palace in that.
1-2.
Spurs. This is a bad one here because Spurs always get beat whenever we do a predictor. It's a rule, but they're playing Bournemouth, so we're gonna have to go.
Let's do it properly. Let's do it properly.
Do a properly
right?
one.
They're gonna win that 2-0, aren't they?
Do you think so?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Okay, that's never happened before in this show. Wolves versus Brentford. Yeah, that's another important one. What do you reckon in that game, Gary? For me, I fancy Wolves to win that because I don't think I do. I fancy Wolves to win that. Or
fancy
or
Wolves
at least
to beat
draw.
Brentford. Brentford are a much better side than Wolves. I'd be I'd go for a draw on that, but your choice.
City versus Leicester. City are going to win.
Yeah, 4-0.
About 8-0.
8-0.
4-0.
West Ham,
we've got
Arsenal.
West Ham, Arsenal. We're going to lose.
I'd say 0-3.
3. Okay.
3.
Forest,
Man U.
They've got to get beat. They've got to get beat by Man U, haven't they?
Let's hope so.
4 and Leeds versus what we do. We do the next 3 fixtures. We won't go through the entire season.
Liverpool started playing better, haven't they? So they're going to do Leeds.
You reckon? 1-2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where are we? Are we going?
Sorry, sorry, people. I need to.
We've stayed in 14th.
I've not been putting the comments up.
Oh, sorry.
Gary, CNP.
Right, we've got Gary. Let's pause that for a minute, and we'll just talk to Gary while we're doing this. So, hello, is that Gary? Hello, Gary.
Hiya, Nick. How are you? All right?
I'm amazing, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad. I've been a bit of a cold this week, sore throat.
Oh no!
Thing. Just about shaking it off now. So I'm a bit croaky, but
yeah. Well, I hope you feel better soon, mate.
No, I'm fine, mate. Yeah, watch the game tonight, same as you. I want to try and put a bit of perspective into this. I'm as much as Moyes out as anyone. It wasn't great again, like the Fulham game Saturday.
Yeah.
It was a struggle to watch it, wasn't it? It's hard to enjoy the games at the moment. I know you're saying it's so negative.
Yeah.
But next Thursday, if we win that game, then I suppose there is some justification to get a draw out there. I mean, you've seen Man United tonight at home drawing 2-2 with Seville, and then all these other teams that have been fancied, 2 of them got knocked out in the last rounds. I think there's another upset tonight. One of the teams got beaten. Alkmaar, everyone's rating. I think they're losing to Anderlecht, but we're beaten twice already. Yeah. So,
but what I would say is to give it perspective. You've got to be looking at something different from the norm. This performance that we saw, Gary, is the same performance that we see every week.
It's not going to change the end of the season. It's just about the results now. You've got to forget about free flowing. We're not going to get it. We all know we are. I don't know why we're all discussing it still. Really, we know we're in what we are. All we can do is stay up and try to win this competition. We've got a shot. Yeah. And if we do win next week and we go through the semi-final, we'll be forgetting about tonight.
We won't win a cup playing like that.
Well, you say that, but I mean, how many of these teams in this competition where would they be in the Premier League in terms of
probably high
into it?
I think Fiorentina and Nice, based on this season, would probably be a little bit better off than us based on their form at the moment.
I mean, the other thing is it's a two-sided argument. I mean, I don't like playing this 5 at the back. I just can't ever remember hardly ever winning that way and ever playing well.
No,
I'd rather play with a 4-3-3. And also, my band brothers, this striker, that young lad.
Yeah.
I like seeing him given a bit of a 15-20 minutes tonight with Antonio. See that look together. That'll be quite a dynamic front pairing. A bit of pace and power in the side. But
he's not going to get used this season now.
No, I know he's not, but it would be nice to see something. Just get the fans. But also the players, we're all blaming Moyes all the time, and rightly so. But also, I mean, the players, some of them did look motivated tonight. I mean, they said on BT Sport, Colton Cole's on there, the players are never ever going to have a better chance to win a competition.
No,
no. We get through next Thursday, we're in the semi-final.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I know. But that goes to show you, and this is the thing. We've heard the stories not just on this channel from myself. The story that I broke on here was just a different version of what's been broken elsewhere. These stories are widespread. Jacob Steinberg's released similar weeks ago. This is not a happy camp. They're not happy with the tactics. We're going away. We're going away again. We should be enjoying ourselves in the European competition. It should be a break from reality. And David Moyes sets us up like that with 7 defensive players on the pitch. Where's the inspiration coming from, Gary?
No, I know. I mean, I must say, I was pleasantly surprised by Paqueta tonight, and he come on.
Yeah.
He lit the game up a bit. He should have been on a bit earlier. I think he's got to start next Thursday. He's got to.
It
Be interesting though. Be interesting to see what we do, won't it? Because we've got Arsenal Sunday. Most people are writing us off that one. And then we've got the Bournemouth game the following week, and we've got this game Thursday night. So, what team does he play next Thursday? I mean, how do you see it, Gal?
Well, there'll be no Ogbonna because Ogbonna's banned.
No, I know, but I mean, what I'm saying, would you go full strength next Thursday? Bearing in mind we've got Bournemouth the weekend.
Well, you can't. We've got to win Bournemouth because we're going to get beat by Arsenal. Gary. I know you probably think something different, but
I mean, it's
we'll
really
get beat by Arsenal.
It's really tough, isn't it? It's really tough. You know, those two fixtures within a few days of each other, because arguably Bournemouth is the more important game. But then, is it really? You know, because for me, Genk is the more important game, right? So I would.
But for 1 minute, I'll ask both Garys this. Both, if when you look at the running. Okay, we need at least another win, maybe two, right? Now, when you look at the running, Bournemouth is one of the only really winnable games left until you look at the last two fixtures against Leeds and Leicester.
Leeds and Leicester.
Now, are you honestly telling me that you're willing to sacrifice Bournemouth?
I wouldn't sacrifice it.
Well, this is the trouble. I mean, I know Nigel Khan is probably watching. From a football fan's point of view, like Gary just said, you know, you remember, if you win a competition, you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. You see how Mourinho celebrated last year and Roma celebrated, the biggest club. So I think we've got to go play a full strength side Thursday and then go again on Sunday.
But look, Mandy G says here, look, black and white, right? So just say it's a split choice, okay? I know we could beat both. We could beat Gent and we could beat Bournemouth. But just say, if it was a choice between the two, you either beat Bournemouth or you beat Gent, which game do you pick?
Listen, I don't think we're going to beat Bournemouth anyway, so I will pick Gent. I had a stand to get a draw at Bournemouth.
Would you be happy with a draw at Bournemouth and beat Genk?
I have a big one. You're bored now. You've been bored for ages. I wish you would fuck off, to be quite honest.
Don't rise to it, Nick.
Yeah.
No. Go on.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. But, No, this is the thing now. We've got to decide. I mean, I just don't think you can pick and choose your games. I think you've got to go out and win. We've got a big enough squad anyway. I mean, there was a few surprises tonight. Cornet didn't get a look in. 4-0 didn't start. But I would have, in the first half, when it was going up, I would have gone back to a back four. I would have left Johnson out, gone back to a back four, and brought on 4-0 or Paqueta into the midfield, you know, earlier.
Michael's made a good point here, mate. Imagine extra time next Thursday.
Oh, God, yeah. Extra time and penalties next Thursday,
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's a possibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can beat this side at home. I think we just got to...
Of course we can. We're a fucking level up. We're levels above them in terms of talent. But they're a better football team. But they're a better football team.
The crowd will be up for it. The crowd will be up for it. We're not like the 2 or 3 up, are we? The crowd will be up for it. It'll be a night match.
But do you think the players will be up for it if we set up in a similar way and we approach it in a similar way? I think they'll be up for it before the game, but a midweek game in Europe, if we're setting up like that against inferior opposition, this ain't Seville, this ain't Lyon, this is fucking Gent. If we're not setting up to go for them, Nick, it's going to be a bad atmosphere, mate.
Nick, can I just say that? Can I just say we got to a semi-final of European competition last year, which is really rare for us. This year we've got to another quarter-final of European competition with a genuinely good chance of winning a trophy. This might not happen for another 30 years, right?
Exactly.
So we can't treat it just because it's happened 2 years in a row. We can't treat it like it's going to come around again in 5 years' time because it probably fucking won't. No. Right? So we've got to win this fucking. We've got to take our chance of winning this trophy.
The thing is, this is one of the only chance because look, even the domestic competitions, you've got it's a miracle to win one of them because of the Premier League teams that are in it.
Exactly.
This is literally a competition with subpar opposition that are in it. We've got a genuine chance of we're the favourites. We've got a chance of winning it. When is that ever going to happen again? Yeah.
Plus, also, if we do win it, we're in Europe again next season. So that's 3 seasons in a row we'll be in Europe.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I know.
And we've never done it before in our history, have we?
No.
So I think, look, if we finish 17th, 16th, and win this competition, I think everyone would accept that. And Moyes can walk away, and then we can, start again next year.
Yeah. There was a question earlier about, if he wins it. Well, it wasn't a question; it was a statement saying if he wins it, they'll keep him on. Apparently, that's not the case now. Apparently, it's been agreed
No.
between Sullivan and Moyes that he's off at the end of the season, even if he wins.
Do you believe that? I mean, that's been linked. That was mentioned on Talksport, and then I think Gonzo wrote a story on Claret and Hugh that he then done a video on and said that he didn't believe it. Why would they release that story? I mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense, really.
I think he'll be gone end of the season.
I think he will be, but I don't believe that story though. I don't believe that there's been a handshake.
No. It's to be honest, it's then who we get in for next season. I mean, we've got to get that one right, haven't we?
Yeah.
There's a few names being banded about. Who would you like to see, Gal? Nick, a pair of you. If you had one choice there, it's down to you. Who would you have in charge?
What, new manager?
Yeah, if it's down to you to decide. Who would you pick?
Rodgers for me. Rodgers for me.
I'd go Rodgers as well.
Would you?
Well, Rodgers or Potter would be fine. I'd also go for Carrick. I'd also go for Pochettino. I'd also go for that Dutch bloke that's been linked with us at the moment, who's a very progressive Feyenoord manager, whose name escapes me. There is
funny name,
there is, but he looks great.
What
He
about
looks right up.
What
Listen,
about the Celtic manager?
Mancini.
Yes, I'd go for him as well. I'd go for him as well.
Postecoglou.
As long as whoever comes in is a progressive manager with one very firm eye on our youth academy and developing and bringing through the youth team, that's what I want to see, because we've got a special group of kids. It is the perfect time to bring a manager like that in.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Gal. That's going to absolute paramount of importance to get a guy who's going to, utilise these. I don't want to see these players off to another club, and then we all know how good this bunch is. Yeah. And I want to see them playing in the West Ham shirt, not another team.
Yeah, this is. I'm not putting this up because Mancunian Hammer says Nick is right, but the way he's worded it, right? He says we won't win a cup playing like we are, and I can't see any sign of improvement because there isn't any. And this is the thing, Gary. When you look at the games that we've just won recently, we've fluked results. You can't fluke your way to a cup win.
Well, you can. You over
not the whole way through the competition.
No, but you can fluke your way. We fluked our way through the first leg tonight, right? There is a chance we take it back to our place next week, because we could have easily lost 3-1 today and be out of the competition, right? We've now got a chance to bring them. We've just got to win a home game now in front of a full house, hopefully at London Stadium. Big old cavernous arena, completely different to what they're used to. Some of them are going to be. Some of the younger players are probably going to be quite conscious about that as well. It is a big stage compared to what they've been playing on.
Or they'll rise to it.
Or they'll rise to it, but I doubt it, because I think in reality, they're not a top Premier League side. They're probably a top Championship side, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We've got to start the game first 15, 20, absolutely come out all guns blazing. Try to get the first goal, get the crowd right up, and I think then we'll smash them. But if we go out and start all negative like Moyes normally does, and the crowd starts getting on their backs, it could all turn and go the other way.
I agree.
You know what it's like, Gary.
It's in our hands, really.
You know what it's like, Gary. You go away in the FA Cup to Kidderminster and play on an unfamiliar pitch, very closed in, with a tiny little crowd that's quite noisy, with players who are right up for it. It's their cup final, and you could lose that game, right? Whereas if Kidderminster come to our stadium and play on the carpet in the big, relaxed, open atmosphere, we'll put them to bed.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. Right, Gary. I'm going to cut it short tonight because I need a bit of an early night, and we've got to get one more call on before we go. We've got Jonathan's waiting, so I'm going to get Jonathan on, and then
cheers, Gary.
Once we've done that, we're going to wrap up.
All right, lads.
Cheers,
take it easy.
Cheers for the call, Gary.
See you later, Gary. I hope you get well soon.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
There we go. Right, let's get Jonathan.
People really don't like Rodgers. Every time we mention Rodgers,
I don't get
someone comes on here and goes, "No, fuck off."
Mr. Mace says he's got a worse hard drive than Gary Glitter. He reckons.
Oh, God. And Trodge just said, "You remember what he said last week? He just said it's just something about him. It's just something about him. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it.
I don't get it.
Just don't like him.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Right. See if I can find it. Right. Let's give him a call. Here we go.
Arnie Slot, that's him. That's that Feyenoord manager.
Yes, yeah, he's doing well, isn't he? He's doing well.
Yeah.
Hello, lads. You all right?
I'm all right, Jonathan. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, guys. Hey, yeah, I've already done that. Yeah, everyone's cool. Oh, fucking hell. Terrible.
I know.
Terrible
wasn't
today.
it?
It was.
No, it was. Do you know what it is? Recently, I've been watching I watched the games, whatever. But recently, like this kind of, because it's so rubbish, I've been kind of switching off a little bit. But tonight, I really focused on what was going on. I really wanted to see, like, I want to see what everyone else sees.
Yeah.
In terms of, like,
Did you see
the
it?
Moyes thing.
Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
It's bad, isn't it?
I did.
It's really bad. It's
pretty bad.
pretty bad. It's really painful, mate.
Look, let me know if I cut off a bit because it's on a WhatsApp call, yeah? So obviously if you can't hear me, tell me.
Oh, that's
I've made a few
crystal clear,
points.
mate. Crystal clear.
All right, good. All right, I'll start off with the positive. The one positive. The weird thing is I watched that game. It was painful. I mean, the obvious stuff is we've been outplayed by what is essentially, they're a championship side, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah,
they played really well.
No more than they're no better than a championship side.
Look, they played really, really well.
Yeah,
they're in front of their home crowd. I mean, it's a huge. You got to think it's a huge game. Technically, it's not a huge game for us this year because Moyes has ruined it. But it should be a huge game for West Ham. Right, it's a quarter-final of a European Cup, and we've only been in the Europe the last couple of years. So for us, it's a huge game. So for them, it's a massive game, right? And they've obviously, I looked at it and I felt they played. I don't know them. This could be really out of order to say this, but I looked at them and every single player looked up for it on their side. They all looked confident. They were smiling. I mean, the guy up front, I don't know what his name is. Gift. His first name's Gift.
Yeah, Gift.
I remember that.
Yeah, good player. Very good player.
Whatever.
Gift Orban, isn't it?
He looked.
Gift Orban.
We say very good player. Very good player. He looks like a good player. And he looks strong. He looked like low centre of gravity and all the rest of it. And he's obviously on a lot of form and he's got a lot of confidence. Yeah. And like it's like anything. You think, he could make it in the Premier League. Maybe he could, maybe he couldn't. They had one or two players that looked like, maybe teams would be interested in them. But they're nowhere near us in terms of quality. Nowhere near.
No, they're not.
No. But they were. I think you both made the point. They're a better team. They're a
better team, and they're going to have that hunger and that appetite. And when you've got that enthusiasm, bearing in mind that Gift Orban, he's in a good vein of form. He's well, I don't know if you've seen the video that went around on Twitter, but the guy said he would literally, this is that Gift Orban, basically he said I would kill someone to score a goal, and the bloke laughed that was interviewing him, and he went, no, seriously, I would kill someone to score a goal. And the thing is, but you need that enthusiasm and that hunger, and that's what I think. If you was to throw someone like, could you like Mabama in, 18 years old, someone like that, just that enthusiasm, that team that has got loads of talent lacks. We haven't got any enthusiasm there. I think we could say Moyes has probably drained it. Fair enough. Then Moyes, give it an injection. Give it an injection of enthusiasm. Throw a kid in there.
But we're going to move on to Moyes now, and this is where I've had a bit of an epiphany for me, anyway. Yeah,
go on then.
Because I've wondered why I've been so slow. Because I'm now Moyes out.
Yeah.
Right. This is official. I'm Moyes out. But I'm not a Moyes hater, and I watched it tonight, and I just thought I honestly do not blame him.
Are you a Moyes liker? Do you like him?
Yes.
Oh, you like it? Because
I'll tell you why.
Because this is the thing. I don't get it. I don't get that at all. I think he bullies players. He calls out the fans. He's disingenuous. I fucking hate his football. I honestly don't see what there is to like about him. But anyway, go on.
No, I'm with you. I'll tell you the reason. This is okay. Try to bear with me. We'll have a conversation rather than I'm not going to talk at you. You see Roy Keane. I'm a Roy Keane liker. I love Roy Keane. He's probably maybe my favourite player. Maybe not of all time, but as a central midfield captain, he is my favourite player of all time. Yeah. I think he should have. I'm not a Man United fan, but if I was, I'd be asking for a statue of him. Yeah. There, he should. He's that good. If you plonked Roy Keane into today's Premier League, right? I mean, skills-wise, technically, I'm probably gonna get caned in the chat for this. He'd be brilliant with all the stuff he can do, but he would need to adapt. Like he couldn't be Roy Keane in this Premier League. if that makes sense.
But
There's plenty of players I can reel off.
But in our team, I think if you had someone like Roy Keane in some of the games that we've played this season, like you remember the Tottenham game where, look, this is the thing, Declan Rice is amazing for us, but even he rolled over away against Spurs. If you got Roy Keane, Roy Keane would be knocking his own players out.
I think we're getting the message wrong.
Yeah.
I'm saying Roy Keane, is world class. Look, he's world class. What I'm saying is you can't have the exact same Roy Keane playing in the Premier League now. It wouldn't work.
Right.
Like the player now is Declan Rice, is what I'm saying. Like that is your Roy Keane now, and he's nothing like Roy Keane.
Yes.
You can have the attitude, but you can't have the same player, same type of play. Now I'm looking at David Moyes. This is where I think I like David Moyes, but I know he has to go.
Yeah.
Because David Moyes, I've watched Premier League for a long time, as have you guys. Gary longer than both of us, right? And not even Premier League, the Division 1, yeah?
Yeah.
David Moyes has played the same football.
When it was black and
we
white.
play like black and white. We play like Everton. But we play like Everton did in the 90s.
It's just nothing's changed.
Yeah, that's
nothing's
what we
changed.
do. Yeah.
No, this is what I'm saying. We play like Everton did in the 90s, and Everton had a lot of success, right? So that's Moyes' style. It's understandable. That's who he is. That's how he got his success, right? He's come to us, and he's had, and I would say his best season with us was the lockdown season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now in the lockdown season, you can shithouse your way through games. There's no fucking fans there in the interim, so you can basically shithouse 80 minutes. Boring football.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was the case. And there's no fans there to go, oh.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So then you get the win, and then we're just happy at the end. And there's no fans there to. It is what it is.
We was all just happy to have football back at that time. When it came back on television, we was just happy to have football
back. But then on top of it, the next season, we're riding a crest of a wave. So we've already had a great season the year before by our standards. We came sixth, got into Europe. The players are confident in the style the manager's playing. The fans are grateful to be back, and we're going to cheer no matter what. And then we start the season on a fantastic run of form last year, which we did. Yeah. Which is the reason why we finished 7th, because we all know what happened after Liverpool, right?
Well, it fell apart.
What happens if a crest? What's the crest of a wave? A wave is at its highest peak, and then it crashes. The wave has crashed.
Yes.
So the wave has crashed. The wave crashed, and it crashed after Liverpool, and it was coming down. It's been shit. Yeah. Then the summer comes, and the board give him 200 million. Yeah, 180 million, whatever.
It's 200
right?
with Ings.
Yes. Now, where we disagree, and I'm going to say this, I now agree with you. Well, I'm 100% on board with you and Gary. He's got to go, right? Yeah. Where I'm saying I'm not a Moyes hater, and it's not his fault. He's 60 years old. He's played the same brand of football for I don't know how long. I'm going to say 20 years. It probably isn't that long. Yeah. It's maybe 15, 20 years. Yeah. He's played that way of football. And where I think it's a bit of a joke, and it's not on you, but where people use the words, he's got to adapt, he's got to change, he won't change. Yeah. Can
I interrupt? Can I interrupt for just 1 second?
Go on, interrupt, then I want to come back to my point.
Right. Basically, where I'm taking an issue with that is because what you're saying is what he did, 10 years, 15 years ago worked, so he's continued doing it. It shows a lack of ability to David Moyes. It shows a lack of dynamism. If you look at, fair enough, it's an extreme example, but the man he replaced at Man United, Alex Ferguson, constantly evolved his style with the modern game, constantly refreshed his coaching staff, constantly evolved,
different.
Never stopped learning. David Moyes doesn't learn. He doesn't learn from his own mistakes. He refuses to learn. He's stubborn.
No, but that's different. This is what I'm getting to my point.
Go on.
I'll try to address that point.
Sorry, mate.
Right? So what we're saying is, we're talking about, right, so we're asking David Moyes to adapt and change, right?
Yeah.
So let me finish my point, and then I'll get on to Alex Ferguson, because that was a very good point you made. So I'm saying he is not going to be able to adapt and change. What he's tried to do is bring in better players, which he has done. We know he's done that. He and Rob Newman, whoever. And he thought, what I can do is, I can play the way I always play because I'm not going to be able to do anything else. And then with those better players, we'll be even better. And it's not worked out. And for that reason, I want him gone. Because he basically is, as I now know, he's a mid-table manager. I don't think he's useless. He could be very good at a team below us, or whatever, or in Championship. With Alex Ferguson had massive amount
He's
of success at Manchester
he's
United.
useless for a team that are ambitious.
Yes. What I'm saying about Alex Ferguson is Ferguson is another example. But what I'm saying is Alex Ferguson, created a machine.
Yeah.
If you had Alex Ferguson having to do the job that David Moyes does, I'm getting on to Sullivan here.
Yeah.
He has nothing. Right, he has the money. We've got the money, but there's nothing there.
Mate,
Alex Ferguson was always able to.
He's built it all. So you've got a full team now.
David Moyes was never going to build.
Yeah, but
no.
But what I mean is, he has literally been given the reins to develop. He's got a full coaching staff. We've got a full scouting staff now. The coaching staff. We've got a full infrastructure now, all employed and controlled by David Moyes. He even employed Rob Newman. If I'm not being funny, I think he probably even had a hand in Mark Noble's appointment as well.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the game's moved on. We agree. Basically, we're not even arguing. Trust me.
Yeah.
David Moyes came in, did a fantastic job, and I think part of it was lockdown, genuinely, and I think the second season was the crest of the wave he rode from the lockdown season. It's obvious now that the game has moved on. For us to go to a team like Genk to play against Fulham, the way we've been playing, basically his tactics, which are, it looks like 1990s football, early 2000s. It's outdated. Like, I'm 100% on that now. But what I'm saying is, this is where I'm defending him. That's him. This is definitely all David Sullivan.
No, you're right.
You're right. It's not Moyes'
Sullivan's fault.
That,
he's still here.
Hang on a minute. I think what you're getting at.
Listen,
is,
if you're on
it's not,
$5 million a year, if you're on $5 million a year, sorry, Gary, because I want you to speak. Sorry, Gary. If you're on $5 million a year, right, and you're going to go to a post-match interview, right, you've got two options, right? One, you're going to do what he does and go, this is the way I play. This is the way I always play. We're going to get it right. We're going to do it right. You're going to do that for your family, and you're going to do that to keep your job. Or you're going to go, the game's out. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's for David Sullivan to work out. He does not know what he's fucking doing.
Well,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Sullivan
Moyes is
doesn't.
just going to keep his job.
Yeah, go on, Gal.
Well, I think what you're saying in summary is that Moyes is shit. He's extremely limited. He's very shit. But Sullivan hasn't noticed yet, and it's not Moyes' fault that he's still employed.
I don't agree with that. I think that David Moyes was very, very good for what we needed, but it's gone beyond him. We now expect more, and we should have more. We deserve more.
Well, look, I don't agree though. I don't agree. I don't agree that we expect more. Why do we expect more? We don't expect more. We expect.
I'll tell you why. Because he took us out.
We don't expect to be in a relegation battle playing absolute dog shit football, do we?
No.
No, but I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. We expect more. What I'm saying is, we've moved out of Upton Park. We've got a massive stadium. We've got a massive budget. We've got really good players. Of course, we expect more, Gary. I'm not saying we expect more as in we're entitled. I'm saying we deserve more. I said 60,000 stadium, loads of money spent on players, really good players, and Moyes cannot do it.
But for me, talking
good enough.
But talking for myself, right? You're talking to someone who's been Moyes out for a fucking long time. And for me, it isn't winning cups. It isn't getting in the top four. It isn't, because I've never known West Ham win fuck all. I haven't. So the expectation for me is to enjoy watching the game of football. That is it. Moyes can't deliver that. He can't deliver it. So that is my expectation. My expectation is to have a manager in place that can deliver the type of football that I fell in love with as a fucking West Ham fan. This is anti all of that. So I don't believe.
No, I agree with that. But it was all good. No, but listen, Nick, I'm not saying it was all right for you and Gary. I'm not saying that. But it was all right for a lot of people during lockdown for us to buy players 6'6", lump the ball in, and we were all loving Dawson because we were bullying teams, and that stopped working. And now we're like, this is actually shit. But it was probably always shit. It was.
But
what I'm saying is, if we were happy at the time to get the most set pieces and all of this kind of crap, it was always shit. It was never good football. What I'm saying is now it's just come back to it's bit him in the arse.
Yeah,
he's done.
But
I agree with you.
Where it went wrong, right? You've just identified the problem yourself. You've employed a manager that hasn't changed his style of play since he was managing Preston. Okay.
Most managers don't change their style of play. That's what their style of play is.
But he went from Preston. He went to Everton. A lot of managers will evolve. They'll and the other thing they'll do is they will adapt. So something I've never seen, right? David Moyes is like the strongest example of that. Is not trying to get the best out of the players that you've got. Most managers, if you're given an amazing fucking player, you'll try and adapt and change your team to get the best out of that player because you know that's going to benefit you. It will make you look good. But David Moyes, it's like everyone has to be shoehorned. We heard from Arteta when we played Arsenal the last time. He came out before that in a press conference and he basically said, when I went to play for David Moyes, he forced me to play in a position that I'd never. He bought me. As I don't know what position he played in. He said, but he basically bought me and put me out on a wing. And he said, I'd never played there before. And he forced me to do something. And he said it was sink or swim. But that's great. That's great. But why buy a central player to play wide left? Why not just buy a fucking wide left player? And he does this so many times. He's doing it to Fornells. He's the most strange, frustrating, fucked up manager that I have ever known. His style of football is dog shit. And yes, when it was working, of course. Oh, they're back again. What's this here? Look.
Yeah, but, do you know the thing is, guys? I don't disagree with you. I agree with you. He still goes. This you're going to hate me saying this, but it is fact. Yeah, he goes down as one of the best Premier League managers of all time. Unfortunately, we're getting the shit end. The absolute shit end where he's passed his sell by
mate,
that.
come
Listen,
on, mate. When you say one of the best, what the fuck? He's played. He's got one of the. He's got one of. He's
because
got the
most of them last about 2 years.
No. But
That's
he's got the third most Premier League games or whatever it is behind Ferguson and Wenger. What the fuck has he won? When you consider the amount of time he's been in this game, he's not great. Great should not be associated to David Moyes. That isn't.
Okay. I didn't say. Okay. Listen, I'm saying to you, I'm talking about. Look, he's one of the. He's like, come on, man. We can ring off other ones. The top. Listen, in life, look at in life. Look at the rich people. 1% are at the top. Yeah. Then there's a massive middle, and there's the bottom. Yeah. He's not obviously in the 1%, is he? The 1% is Ferguson, Wenger, Guardiola, to some extent Klopp. How many are there? Marino, maybe. There's 5. 5 in how many years? 20 years.
Yeah.
There's a big middle bit. He's at the higher end of the middle bit. Now, I'm not that, but he's not at the high end of the middle bit now. He's done. I'm saying to you, he's done.
Yeah.
I'm literally saying to you, he's done. But all this kind of slagging him off. He's earning a lot of money. But here's the one thing I said to my friend today, and this is where I should take responsibility.
Yeah.
And this is what you guys, I think, have been trying to do.
Yeah.
I should have been calling for his head at the World Cup, and I didn't. And that is on me a bad fucking thing.
But we're seeing it now. I had a to and fro with someone on Twitter today. So look, people have got different thresholds. I get that, right? I went early. Gary went later. John went after that. Everyone's got a different tipping point as to when they're willing to, because there's loyalty. There's and all this sort of stuff.
It was right.
It doesn't matter about who's right. Everyone's got a different tipping point. Everyone knew. Everyone could see what I could see, but people have got different thresholds before they're willing to say, yeah, that's it. That's enough. But even now on Twitter, there was someone on Twitter earlier on. Like I'm not going to call him out, but it was a good account, and he's come out and he said, I hope these Moyes out lot aren't going to celebrate a Europa League win. I hope they're not going to do this. And another thing that he said as well was, this is another thing that he said. I think it's going to be incredibly harsh if David Moyes saves us from his own, which is basically from relegation, and wins the Europa League. If he gets sacked, how is that fair? And you're like, mate, seriously, Leicester sacked Ranieri after he won the Premier League. So Ranieri had way more credit in the bank, and they sacked him for far less than what David Moyes has delivered in the last 16 months.
Anyway, let's wrap this up.
No. There's nothing. There's no comeback on that. You're completely right. It's got this. This is now. Do you know what? It's a bit. No, this is again. I could get slated for this, but I remember watching from afar. You know, the whole Arsene Wenger thing that went on for so long, didn't it? And to be fair, he was still getting top 4 year in, year out. But they just had enough. It had run its course, and I know it's completely different because you've only had him for 3 years, but it's done. The way I'm comparing it is, it got. You get to an age, I don't think he's useless. Like, for instance, if I wanted to direct, not West Ham, but David Moyes is not useless. He's not a fucking dickhead. He knows loads about football. he can go and do something else. Yeah, and he's had a very good career.
I'm telling you now, he will never get another top Premier League job. This is as high as he's ever getting. He will never get employed at a top Premier League club again.
No, he's. I don't want to call his own retirement. It's a bit harsh. I'm saying, as a top level manager in the Premier League, it's done. In my opinion, that's my opinion. I think he's done. I'm not saying he couldn't take a job at Nottingham Forest and do well with them for a year or two, but I'm saying younger people are coming through. Make way, and let's get progressive.
Yeah.
You know, it's done for him. I'm trying to explain why I have never been Moyes out and he's a prick, but I do think now that is it.
You're explaining why you kept faith with him for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm also going to say now I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, but again, it's not about right or wrong. I mean, the thing is now, it
is a little bit. If you don't say when you're wrong, which is what we're asking Moyes to do, you can't move forward.
That's never going to happen.
So what I'm saying is, if I could go back to Christmas, which I can't, I would be on exactly the same page as you, and I'd be as pissed off as you are now. I'm basically admitting it. I was wrong, and I didn't see it, and I really wanted it to work out. But
you know something? Yeah. I think even that alone, I think one thing that is sure, even if I think 99% of the fan base were, do you know one thing I'm actually sure of now? I don't think it would have made the slightest bit of fucking difference, because I don't think Sullivan still would have sacked him. I actually don't.
Honestly,
I actually don't think he would have sacked him anyway, even if we'd have been fucking protesting, doing this and doing that. I think they're digging their heels in. It looks to me like Sullivan now is probably looking to sell up. I actually think that fucker is. I think he just wants to get through to the end of the season. I do think that he believes that Moyes can get us there. He probably can. He probably can keep us safe. It won't be easy, but it's a massive gamble. And now I think it would be a gamble to change, because. Because then it's down to who you bring in, because with this amount of games to go, with the fucking opponents that we've got coming up, who do you bring in now?
And also now, it's too late now. And also now, like, getting onto a lighter subject, but it's still equally as harsh.
Yeah.
Getting off the actual Moyes in particular, the football that I've been watching, we've all been watching, is pure anxiety football, and it's all based on fucking hell, clear it. That is all it is. Clear it, and hit a shitty counter. And most of our counters are based. It isn't even like really slick counter football. Just talking about the football today, it's all based on the other team making a mistake, someone putting a foot in, and then slipping someone through. It's not as if we're it's so bad. It's so fucking. The football's awful.
Yeah, no, it's dreadful.
It's awful.
I mean, Hammers Chat, Gio from Hammers Chat, has just said he would keep Moyes until the end of the season because it's our best chance of a trophy. Moyes in, and look, if he believes that,
Gio said that.
Yeah, if he believes that, that's fine. But you know what? Based on what, Gio? Honestly, based on what? What are you based?
Sure.
But what I'm saying is, how could you say that if we were to retain Moyes, we've got a better chance of winning a trophy than if we got someone else in? You've got the only tangible evidence you've got from David Moyes is that he doesn't win trophies.
But hang on, Nick.
Okay,
should we move on to that? Let's move on to that. I've got to say, at this stage, and we're on the same page. We might disagree with certain things.
Yeah.
Unless I can get, I want Brendan Rodgers. I know Gary does. I know you do. We've all agreed on that on the last time I spoke to you, right?
Yeah.
If I can't get Brendan Rodgers between now and the end of the season, and it's not somebody else I definitely want. I don't want anybody, and I don't want anybody. I definitely don't.
Yeah.
So I would be willing to have Moyes win if he can, by the way, because I do take on your point. We could lose to Bournemouth. Yeah. That would be a fucking disaster. Because I don't see us beating up, obviously.
So what are you doing? So asking you that question that was asked.
Cool.
I think Mandy asked it earlier on. So obviously we've got the second leg on Thursday, and then 3 days later we've got Bournemouth. You know that the Genk game could go to extra time. It could do anything else. If you can only choose, if it's black and white, you can only choose a win in either Bournemouth or Genk. Which one do you choose?
I'll tell you. What do you think I'll choose?
Bournemouth.
Of course.
And so would I.
Of course. Any sane person, anyone else that says, actually, that's a bit rude. Sorry, but I want to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah. So would I. But yeah.
So that's obviously a worry. But the thing is, look, everyone says about the body of evidence. What can you provide? What can you provide? And that's a very good point. And it doesn't mean it will always work out, but there is a bit of evidence to say that he wins the games he absolutely fucking has to win. So that would be one of them. Do you know what would be? It's awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
The thing is, imagine if we bought Brendan. Look, I want a manager like Brendan Rodgers. Do I want Brendan Rodgers to come in and get us relegated? It's a really at this point, not Gary, the caller before.
Yeah.
We literally, do you know, it's awful, especially if you guys run a channel. You got to commentate on it. It's easy for me.
Yeah,
I can literally watch a game. I can watch a game and think this is fucking awful, and I'm not going to fucking talk to anybody.
No.
And I'm going to put my head down for the next week and then the result happens, and I'm like, oh look, yeah, but the result. You guys have to fucking go through the whole shit of Arsenal on Monday.
Yeah.
I could just literally turn my phone off.
No, I know. It is difficult. It is difficult. But anyway, mate, I'm going to try and retrieve Gary from wherever he's gone from. We're going to wrap up because I've got to be up early.
Have I pissed him off?
No, mate. Honestly, look. Listen, when you come on, I'll do the same. When you come on and you're brave enough to offer your own opinion and stuff like that, you're going to get people to disagree and stuff. It's just what happens. But no.
Sorry, Gary.
It was a good call, mate. It was a really good call. So yeah, I do get.
As always.
I do get what you're saying. I don't agree with every aspect of it. I don't. But particularly the David Moyes is one of the best Premier League managers. That I did take exception to, but no.
Okay,
but that is what it is.
I want it. Listen, I to make it clear before if I get there, I want him to leave now.
Yeah,
I want him to go. I'm saying I'm not writing off his. See, you guys hate this shit. I'm not writing off his body of work over 20 years because of what's happened in the last 2 years.
But I don't give a fuck
That's
about
me.
his. I don't give a fuck about his body of work for the last 20 years.
I know. Okay. Well, I want him out. I want him out as well.
Yeah.
But I just don't like to. I'm not going to call him he's shit. He's this.
Yeah.
He's that. Because you know what? We all get old. Can
we agree that he's shit now?
On.
Yes. He's shit now. Yeah, that's
no. I can agree. No. He's shit at a club like West Ham, as big as we are.
At this point, he's
too
shit.
big for him.
At this point, he's shit.
No,
and he's got to go.
we're big. No, hang on. We're too big for him. We're too big. This is too big a project for him. That's it. He's not shit. He can go somewhere else and do well. Leicester would take him, and we'd take Brendan.
That wasn't Hammers chat, by the way.
You ask Leicester fans. Hang on. You ask Leicester fans. Hang on. Ask Leicester fans what they think of Brendan Rodgers. They'd go, he's clueless. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
They would say that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But we would be like, I'll take him. They'd take David Moyes because their defense is probably shit.
Yeah.
So you got this is.
They're taking for 6 months.
Fine. Then he's not shit. Then he'll do that little job. Little job he can do. He's old. We all get old, guys. You know, we all get old, and our careers end up coming to an end, and we do what we can.
I know.
So maybe if he's too old and he's too shit, then that's David Sullivan's fault, not his.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think
he's holding on to his job. He's paying his mortgage, which he's probably got about 12 houses.
I know, but anyway, Jonathan, I will let you go. Thank you very much. That was a good call. It was calls havoc in the chat you have. But yeah, no, that was it. Yeah, no. I'm all for it, mate. I'm all for it.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go underground for a bit, and then when we get our next win, I'll worm my way back out of the ground again for you. As I always do.
All right, cheers, cheers, Jonathan. Thanks, mate.
All right, take care, mate. Take care.
Cheers,
bye.
Cheers, Jonathan.
Gary, you look drained.
I am knackered. Yeah, I couldn't get fucking word in edgeways, and I'm not sure I wanted to. So let's. I just listened to you both talk for fucking half an hour. I might as well.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
Right. Okay. All right. That's it. All right. Okay. All right. No, it's fine. Gary, do you want to wrap up?
Yeah.
Miserable fucker.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, look. Thanks for joining. That was a miserable night of football, and I'm in a very fucking miserable mood, to be honest. After that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, we shall see you soon. When are we back? Sunday. Sunday after the Arsenal game, innit?
Yes. Yeah.
You know. So that's going to be. Who knows what's going to happen there?
Well, look. Funnier things have happened. You never know. The odds are we're going to get smacked, but you don't know. You don't know. We could pull it out of the bag.
Yeah.
You know.
Anyway, we'll see you soon. Come on, you irons.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.
Cheers.